Hello, Steve White, TrekBoy89 for Steve Arts 89. Well, I had to do another video because Section 31 is so bad. I want to go through everything. Now, this film is universally hated. It is basically been crowned the worst Star Trek film ever. People who hated Final Frontier and Insurrection and Nemesis are gladly giving this the crown. And Fuzz is being called the Jar Jar Binks of Star Trek. He's the worst character. So that's two pretty big achievements for like the first day of this thing being released. Everyone hates it. Everyone's trashing it. Even the Shills, like people like Sci Fanatics, are showing it no mercy. And I probably shouldn't call him a shill because he's Australian and I'll probably meet him one day. But he's pretty much a shill usually, and he's just trashed it. And I find everyone's doing that. I don't know if Skydance cut off the shill money from Paramount and that or what, but everyone's being honest about this because people made excuses for Discovery Season 1, but they're not making excuses for this. So, okay, let's start. Now, it starts off with the Star Trek Universe logo, and we actually have the garbage scow, and the logo is back to front, and it's just a mess. Then we go to a fairly pretentious quote about fate. Then we see we're in the Terran Empire, and we have some big text, much like the text in the Star Trek JJ films and Lost. We see that Michelle Yeoh's Georgiou character and we've got a younger actress playing her that looks nothing like her. She's been in some sort of Squid Game, and because of course Squid Game's cool and they're trying to be hip, so they're knocking that off because they can't think of anything original. She wins by poisoning her whole family, and her main competitor, San, can't do this. So he bows down to her as these troops arrive, which is some of the only good shots in the movie. She burns his face with a sword, and then we go to another scene where there's a message from Control, and I think this is Section 31 calling. I'm like, why are they calling it Control? Do they not realize in Season 2 of the Discovery they destroyed Control? Or are they trying to say something happened? Or do they just not know their own story? I don't know, because this thing is so badly done it's hard to tell if it's a mistake or they're trying to say something. So we see that she's set herself up with an alternative identity called Madame Van Nance de Frank or something, I can't pronounce it. And she's like a singer in a bar. It's like a cantina style club. We see this guy Locke shows up and says, I know who you are, and you're either going to help us or you're going to go to jail. So he's already recruited the other members of Section 31, and these characters are not well developed. They have awful dialogue. It tries to be clever and snarky, and it's just awful, and you have trouble hearing it half the time. And it's just, you don't care about these characters. They don't engage you, and you don't care when they die. Now, the McGuffin is that when Georgiou was back in the Mirror Universe, she commissioned and created this device, like a doomsday device called the Godsend. It can destroy a whole quadrant, and it's got like no failsafe. So someone from the Mirror Universe, this guy called Data Node, has brought it into the JJ/Discovery universe, whatever it is, because we're not in the original Star Trek universe, to destroy that universe. Yet they also state that they're wanting to invade this universe because they've depleted all their resources in the Mirror universe. So it doesn't make any sense. Why would they destroy the universe? They're trying to farm for like resources. It doesn't make any sense, but it doesn't have to, because it's the MacGuffin and this is a stupid action story, and that's all they need is something for them to go chase after. So yeah, God, we like I said, we meet the characters. Fuzz is tedious, even though the actor's really cute, and I saw some pictures of him with his sexy little smile, and I thought, damn, I could do him. God, no, he's like nails on a chalkboard. He's just, because he's not a real person, he's basically a robot body being driven by a tiny creature from a bunch of race called the Nanokens, and he's basically operating it like a ship. And that's why it doesn't make any sense. It's not a real person. He's just, there's times where he's spouting nonsense and he's speaking different accents, and it's just tedious. And what they were thinking when they created this character, I don't know. Now the Deltan, she has like one scene before she's killed, and the guy in the mech suit is just cringe. He's got body dysmorphia issues, and all these characters are stupid. And why anyone would recruit these and want these people to work for you, I don't know. But they are going after this MacGuffin. They meet up with Data No, and Michelle Yeoh puts this device on the device, which makes it phase shift, and she's phase shifting so she can take it from him. But then another character shows up phase shifting. They fight. People are crediting it as a good fight scene, but it doesn't make any sense because why aren't they going through the floor? She ends up getting stuck in a wall. He gets away with the device. Then Alok takes her back to a safe house and interrogates her. And in this, we find out that he's actually he's got like some member berries to reveal. He's from the 1990s, the 20th century, and he was augmented by Khan's people. So he's like an augment, but yet he doesn't display anything, and it doesn't benefit him being an augment. The story doesn't benefit. It just makes no sense. It's just purely there as a member berry. And one that people don't seem to even know who wrote this, that they've already established in Strange New Worlds that the eugenics wars were moved from the 1990s to the 2000s. So it's happening in the 21st century now because some Romulans went back in time and tried to change Khan's timeline to eliminate the Federation. So apparently they don't know this, or maybe they're trying to establish that this is actually a different universe from Strange New Worlds. I can't tell, is it a mistake or deliberate, because it's so badly done you can't tell what's what. Okay, so yeah, during this fight, the Deltan is disintegrated and no one cares. So they keep looking for this guy, and they're on this ship, and we see actually a flashback that San killed himself to protest the device that Giorgio was creating. So I forgot to mention that. But we're on the ship, and the bridge blows up, and there is a mole, and the ship crashes, and they're stuck on this planet, and they have to fix this antenna, so they send a message to Section 31. They have to get another ship. They find a garbage scow, and it makes perfect sense that this movie's hero ship is a garbage scow, because this film is trash. And some people are criticising it, saying, how can you have the hero ship be a garbage scow? I'm like, it's perfect. So even though they fix the ship, they don't send the message, and there's a lot of things that don't make sense. Eventually they get into space, and they're fighting with San. San apparently survived, and he's the guy who was in the costume of phase shifting, and he wants revenge on Giorgio, because of course all Star Trek films have to be about a villain coming back wanting revenge on our hero, although this time our hero is a villain who is like a genocidal space Hitler who is a cannibal who eats eyes. So it doesn't make any sense, but he's after her. They fight him, they weaken his shields, they end up having this fight on a train going through a tunnel, and before this was established, that Fez is actually the mole, because his little creature flew out of his mouth, out of the Vulcan body's mouth, and took over the mech guy's suit and made him kill himself, trying to make it look like he was the mole. It looks like Rachel Garrett's the mole, and why she's even Rachel Garrett, because nothing about her being Rachel Garrett is relevant or makes any difference. It's just another member berry. But it ends up being him. Giorgio stabs him, the body, but the body still keeps fighting with Alok, who is saved by the shapeshifter. And then Fez escapes in a little ship, which Garrett destroys with the batteries from a doll that is apparently a faulty product that was recalled or something, and that's just ridiculous. But they end up having this obligatory fight between Michelle Yeoh and San, and of course she kills him by kicking the sword when she's in a difficult position, and it cuts his throat. And then of course, because this all happens while they're doing a countdown of the 60-second godsend, McGuffin, she kills him, and then she sends it through the rift, because the rift between, it's like a gateway between the mirror universe and their universe, opens up for some reason, and she puts it in there to, in sort of theory, destroy the mirror universe on the other side. But it appears to blow up in the middle, in the I think, and I'm like, why isn't there blowback on this side if it didn't go through the other side? How is it? It doesn't make any sense. I guess they were being bold and they were going to destroy the mirror universe, and they said, no, let's just have it blow up in the passage between, and that make no sense, because why isn't that effect? It's just, it doesn't make any sense. So okay, we jump 3 weeks into the future. Rachel Garrett has been promoted to lieutenant commander. Apparently the Vulcan guys back, and I'm like, do all the creatures, all the people from, you know, Nanokins, do they all have like Vulcan robots? Like, who is he? How? It doesn't make any sense. And one of the good things about him being killed was we never see him again because he's so. But here he is. So I just don't know. And probably the worst part is they actually use the Star Trek theme, the Alexander Courage theme, when they destroy the McGuffin, and it's just really inappropriate because it's not Star Trek, and they're using it in that situation. It just does not work. And then they have this hologram message from Jamie Lee Curtis, who is the commander of Section 31, which is a real slap in the face to Ash, who was the commander, and they should have had that actor back as a cameo and have him die some, you know, heroic death, and then, you know, Jamie Lee Curtis takes over, but they don't do that. And they say basically the next job is going to be in the Takana section, which was where Tasha Yar came from. So no one wants to see Tasha Yar dealing with rape gangs when she's growing up. So I'm glad we're not going to get another, you know, adventure, because this is clearly meant to be a pilot for a series. After, yes, it's a mess. It was originally a series, then a shorter series, then a mini series, then a movie that might have been a backdoor pilot. It's like 3 episodes put together, which are like the last 3 episodes of like a 10 episode sort of thing with this McGuffin, and they waste like 7 episodes not having adventures, and then they just spend the last couple of episodes, you know, dealing with the McGuffin, and that's like a season of Star Trek now. And you can just clearly see that's how it was put together, and that's how it happened, and it's just a mess. There's nothing about it that works. Like I said, the characters are bad, the dialogue's bad, the story's basic, it's stupid, there's no science fiction, there's nothing, there's no Strange New Worlds, there's no science fiction concepts, it's just MacGuffin hunt, fist fight. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I'm just glad everyone is trashing this, and I just really hope that this is so poorly received, it really sends a message to Skydance that they need to get rid of Secret Hideout and get rid of Kurtzman and go back to something that resembles Star Trek, because people love Star Trek and people want Star Trek, even if it's, you know, updated and modernized and all that. As long as it's Star Trek at its heart and its format and core, and it is you know, resembles Star Trek, people are going to watch it. I think people miss it, but all we're getting is New Trek, and now this is like the worst example of it. And it's just, I hope it's so bad, it fails so hard that it's a game changer. That's all we can hope, that something good comes out of this. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Did I say that already? Did I go through all my notes? Did I get everything? There's so many things here that are just ridiculous, and I don't know if I got it all. But I'm just going to have to stop because it's 13 minutes. God. I hope I don't ever have to go through something like this again. I want this to be the last, you know, thing like this. Like, I know we've got another couple of seasons of Strange New Worlds, and we'll probably get 2 seasons of Starfleet Academy, but they cannot be as bad as this. And I really hope this sends a message and is a game changer and something good comes out of this. As otherwise, it's just a bunch of just pain and suffering for nothing. I think the weirdest thing about all this is this film just didn't need to exist on many levels. For starters, the villain wanting revenge with, you know, the universe-ending MacGuffin, we've seen that before in Star Trek, and there's no reason why Starfleet couldn't have handled that. There's nothing about this mission that needed to be handled by Section 31. I know people will say, oh, it's outside Starfleet area, but you can see on the map, literally, they've got Starfleet star bases in the area. There's no reason why Starfleet couldn't have handled this, and it just doesn't need to exist. And I really hope that this is, you know, so bad that, you know, Skydance sees, you know, the only way forward is to go, you know, forward without Kurtzman and Secret Hideout. And I really just hope that is the conclusion to all this, and something good comes out of this, and, you know, this actually ends up saving Star Trek. So we'll see.